a special message. First, as you know, I recently published my new book, Letter from Japan. Yesterday, finally published in London first. Yeah, thank you so much.
And this lovely lady is Marie Kondo. Now I'm sure Marie doesn't need too much of an introduction, but she has captured the hearts across the world with her Netflix series, taught us how to fold with gratitude. We were talking a lot about gratitude in our last session, and reminded us to keep the only things that spark joy. But as many of you know, the KonMari method is about so much more than folding clothes. It's about designing a life which aligns with your needs, your wants and your dreams. A philosophy that couldn't be more relevant to today's conversation. So thank you, Marie, for being here.
The important things for me, I come to see my home not as a place to perfectly tidy, but also the space to savoring the precious time with my kids.
I love that. A place to live.
Yeah, place to live.
I love it. So we just had a panel talking about matrescence, this idea of the change that happens when you become a mum. Gemma, how have you changed since becoming a mum?
I think for me, I was always very carefree. I had no fear. I just did whatever I wanted to do. And then it's like I had a child and doom hit. And I was like, oh my goodness, I have responsibility. And I think you realise your own mortality in that situation, something that you're just not thinking about. And I was 24 when I had my first child, which today is considered in the UK quite young. So I was still almost in a kid-like phase while having children. So I think I just couldn't understand why I'd gone from being so carefree to all of a sudden having a conscience. And I struggled with that a lot.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. How about for you, Marie? How have you changed since you've become a mum?
Yes, before becoming a mother, I was entirely defined by my work. I love to tidying and I love my work, and 99% with my mind occupied with tidying, and people often called me tidying nerd. That was whole my identity. But after becoming a mother, my perspective has shifted. I was not only concerned about tidying, but also I truly living a life that sparks joy for me. And I think motherhood brought a deeper meaning what I do and give me a greater sense of purpose.
I love that. And we often talk about having it all, doing it all. How do you do it, Gemma? You know, how do you manage 3 children, businesses, your various different engagements? Even only earlier today, you said to me about all the different drop-offs that you had to do for all your different kids while you're running through the car park to get here. How do you do it? Have you got any systems, family support? Tell us, what are your secrets?
I do believe that it takes a village to raise a family, and I'm very lucky that I have got an amazing family and we have an amazing network of friends, to the point where I know I can call on people and say, I'm stuck, can you help me? But also, I just wing it. I think there are certain systems I have in place, for example, like a calendar and things that I have written down that are the important things that have to happen every day. But in terms of life, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I can't control everything. And that is the one thing that I had to teach myself from having children, because I'm a control freak and I love a plan and I want everything to go to plan. And when you have children, that can't always happen. And for me, it was about understanding that and finding joy, even though it might not be going the way that I want things to go. That was, yeah. So I wing it, guys. I'm not the best person to ask.
I love that, though, the concept you've got to teach yourself, you've got to practice it, though.
Yeah, and I turn up in my slippers and get the job done.
Great slippers, if anyone has.
I make it happen.
Lovely. I need to get myself a pair of those.
Always.
How about for you, Marie? How do you do it all? What things do you put in place to help?
Yeah, that's right. And there was so much conversation about doing it all. But as we know, even Supermom can't do everything. And in my case, I was applied the spark joy principle, not only for belongings, but also my daily habit. That means I use theこんまりmethod to my task. Writing everything down and review one by one helped me prioritize what is important. And also I can easily decide which tasks to do with my children and which tasks to do to share to my husband. And of course, which tasks to let go of when I have not enough time. And I think it is important to share the work with family, and most importantly, let go of perfection. Do not overburden ourselves.
Great advice. It really is a family affair for even the Clean and Tidy Home Show. I just went back a year there, didn't I? Home Life and New Life, and certainly not for keeping my house clean and tidy. That's something that I tend to keep for myself. But I have my sister here, my brother-in-law here, my husband's running around somewhere, I've got friends. And I think even running this event has proved to me the things that you can achieve when you do ask for help. And I think I was so wary to do it. I still do feel a bit guilty now, but I'm really practicing, I'm learning what you truly can achieve where you share the load. So absolutely love that. So we touched a bit on work in my introduction. Gemma, I'd love to know how work's changed for you, perhaps before and after having children, but indeed as kind of time's gone on.
It's a hard one because I am a bit of a go-getter. I'll always find the next thing and want to work. And even when I had children, they've always been on that journey with me. So my children have been at work with me, and this is where I'm naughty until 4 o'clock in the morning, sleeping in the office and, overnights in the den. Yeah, because I was trying to grow something and trying to make it happen. And I nursed for 11 years. I was a children's nurse, and I would have 2 jobs on the side of that as well because I wanted the holidays I wanted, and I wanted to buy the things I wanted. So my children I always feel a bit guilty that I've actually probably worked too much, but as they're growing and I'm getting older with them, I'm starting to realise what I actually need to do now, and maybe starting to change that a little bit more because time is precious and there's only so many hours you can put into work, but what's it all for? So I am learning that slowly.
I've been in HQ when the kids have come in and they're great, they muck in, don't they, and get involved, but yeah, I think as we even touched on in the past,
今年も来たど楽しいど楽しい集い
Almost like my name.
Yeah.
Actually, my second name is Dimitrova.